Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to another webinar. So I'm going to break down gold, yesterday's position, along with the SPX, along with GJ, where we could potentially see how these pairs possibly move to over the next few days, because GJ, very interesting, along with gold, how gold has been moving so far. So basically with gold on the daily time frame, what we did see was a push down from my initial sell entry, but then price pull right back up into the area where I said if you missed out on the first initial sell, then you could possibly wait for price to pull back into this 1820 area, where then you could look to sell into 1800 from there. So I want to talk about my position where I got stopped out last night and how I decided to actually trail my stop loss with this trade. So when it came to me shorting gold, I was short somewhere along this area here, and price had pumped all the way down and made new lows at around 1808. At that point in time, my mindset was I'm already up almost 100 and some pips, and I at least want to have my stops in an area where if my stop loss does get hit, then I'm going to take something home. So what I saw was pretty much how I trailed my stop loss here was there was a area of resistance here on this hour time frame, which you guys can kind of identify here. Maybe it's not the best area, but you guys could see there that there was resistance. Notice price break under resistance, and in this situation, it would be support. Price break under support, pull back up, form resistance, and then continue to go down. At that point in time, that's when I decided to place my stop loss above these highs at around 1818, where I saw, if price were to hit that area, it would most likely go up and continue to go higher, probably into 1824. And I wasn't willing to give all that profit back, and I would just kind of get back in later. So later on, as you guys can see, I pretty much went to sleep on the trade, woke up, and I got stopped out. Still a good trading day, still ended the day in green, more importantly, but then price ended up pushing back down, double bottom, then pulled back into 1820. So when it comes to gold tonight, what I'm going to be looking for pretty much is as long as price can maintain under this area of resistance, under these highs over here, then I'm going to continue to look for gold to actually keep dropping. If price breaks above this 1824 zone, then I'll look to short again at 1833. Anything above 1833, we're most likely going to continue to go long up into the next zone, because you got to remember, I mean, it's still overall in a bearish condition, but we definitely could see another retest of 1833. That is a very big possibility, especially if price actually breaks above this kind of 18, call it 1822 area. If price breaks above this 1822 area, then it's pretty much going to look like buys until 1833. So I'll look to go short there again. So with GJ, I haven't really traded GJ. So what we kind of discussed on GJ after the break above this 160 area is that price could pump up into 151,500. If price were to stay and maintain above this 161,500, then we could have looked for price to go up into 162,500, which it didn't. It broke under and then came all the way back down to 159, which eventually broke under and went back down into the 158, where we do have our major area of previous resistance, now holding as support. So at this point in time, I'm just pretty much going to wait on GJ to give me some form of a confirmation to buy again, some form of a double bottom. I'm not comfortable shorting GJ unless GJ could break under this zone here. Once GJ starts breaking under the zone, starts trading around 157, then we could potentially look to go short. That doesn't mean I'm automatically going to switch my bias, but what that means is I'll wait for price to pull back up, give me a retest, and give me a high probability variation or engulfing candlestick pattern for me to want to continue to look to go short, because what could happen is something like this. Notice how there was no sell signal here either. Once price broke under retest, there's no real strong sell signal. So I like to wait for a strong sell signal, because then we could just ultimately see price start trading back above that area. So with GJ, I want to be a little bit more patient, wait for that double bottom, especially with that huge daily engulfing candlestick. I would like to see, this daily candlestick close, and then if this daily candlestick, which is the current trading date, closes with some form of a loss momentum to the downside or a rejection, then we can anticipate the next daily candlestick to actually go up. So that would be like Thursday's candlestick, right? Or Thursday's trading day. So we're just going to have to wait and see there. So SPX is actually now trading back under support at 39.62, which it does look like it is going to continue this trend overall, right? So now that price is trading back under here, realistically, I would want to be a little bit more cautious with SPX, because this is that daily area of support. Let me check the weekly one more time. The weekly is still in a big impulse to the downside as well. So if you were to take a trade on SPX, I just gotta be a little bit more cautious with the risks that you're using. But ultimately, what I'm going to be looking for if I were to trade SPX is a retest of this area here before looking to possibly sell down to these lows over here, which is the previous day's low or trading session's low. So that's pretty much about it for the breakdown. Does anybody have any questions on gold, GJ, or SPX?
What did you say about gold? Sorry, I came a little late.
Basically, what I said was as long as gold can maintain under 1823, I'll continue to look to sell into 1800. But if price breaks above 1823, I'll look to sell again at 1833. Yeah. So if anybody has any questions, highly recommend you get them asked so I can answer them, because I do have to end the webinar a little bit more short today. So if anyone has any questions, just go for it. Don't hesitate.
You're old. How would you have caught that SPX move?
I wouldn't have, because what I was looking for was another retest of this area. And the way I like to trade is if I see price break right back under resistance, right in a situation like this, I'd wait for the retest. And since there was no retest, price just kept dumping, I most likely wouldn't have taken this position. I mean, there's times where I do take a trade very aggressively, but I don't trade like that all the time. So I wouldn't have caught SPX. Yeah. Any other questions?
Bro, US 30, like, would you have caught any of that?
Concept remains the same. If there wasn't a retest, then no, I wouldn't have caught it. So no, I wouldn't have caught this. Unless you would have traded the breakout once price closed under these lows, I wouldn't have caught it.
Yeah, there was like no pullback.
Yeah, exactly. It just kept dumping, dumping, dumping.
Would NAS 100 be cleaner though?
I mean, they practically all look the same, you know? See, I mean, actually, NAS 100, so it broke back under here, and there's actually two retests right here. Let me grab my narrative. There's actually two retests right here. So this could have possibly been one I could have caught if I was actually paying attention to. Notice these are the highs. Price broke under the highs, pulled back, retested, rejected, retested, rejected. So I probably would have caught this one if I'd be paying attention, but you know, it doesn't matter if it doesn't really matter if I would have caught it. What matters is did I catch it? I did it. So.
And what if there's like two high probability trades? Like, which one would you take
I take both.
at once? And how would you manage your risk?
I mean, it depends on the setup. You know, if I see that one setup has a higher probability to play in my favor than the other, although they may be both high probabilities, one setup is just, there's just going to be some setups that you've seen play out hundreds of times over. So I would put more risk behind that setup versus the other setup. Or you could just risk the same amount, you know. It also depends which one has a higher risk to reward ratio, you know, things along those lines.
So Raul, based off.
What?
All right. No, I was just gonna say based off of 4 hour for me for gold, I have that fib from point A to point B up, I think around 1859 area, and then down to 1787. So that first push up yesterday, I caught that sell down, so that was a 618. So in that situation, I guess that gold, like you said, is still in that downtrend as long as it doesn't break above 1823.
1830.
Oh yeah, 1830. Sorry. So as long as it remains below that, then you're still looking for that.
Yeah.
That continuation and sells.
Yep, I would still be looking for that short.
Would you target back down to like 1780s area? Is that would be a good?
I would target 1800 first, and then
Right.
if it breaks under 1800, I'd look for 1786, which would be like the lowest point price reached.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Yo, bro.
What's good, bro?
Yeah, I pulled up to the webinar late, and I just wanted to say, like, on GJ, I know it came down heavy today, and I want to ask, like, if am I bugging if I'm still like overall bullish on it?
I wouldn't say so, no, because we're still trading above a major area of support. So as long as we're still trading above it, you could still look to buy.
I bet, yeah, because that's what I still had been looking for. Even though it came down heavy today, I still wanted to look for buys.
Yep.
I bet.
Yo, Raul.
Yeah.
Yo, so to kind of touch on GJ, this is kind of like my analysis, and I want to see, if I'm in the wrong too. So I see that
I
on
mean,
the
I
weekly
wouldn't
time.
ever say there's a wrong in an analysis. An analysis is an analysis.
Right, okay. But on the weekly time frame, I see that we're rejecting this major area, right? But then we go to the daily time frame, and we're still in that counter trend. So what I'm seeing is I'm waiting for a retest of the 160 area. Would that be incorrect, since that's one of my major zones?
I mean, what would be incorrect about it?
The fact that we're on uptrend on the weekly time frame, like looking to short, would that be wrong? I guess you can say,
I
in a
mean,
way.
if you're in an uptrend on the weekly and you're looking to go short overall, then I would say what you're doing is you're trying to fight the trend.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, trends come and go. So how would you look or know when to want to switch your bias?
Based off of the lower time frames.
What do you mean?
Like, well, don't the lower time frames lead up to the higher time frames?
Yes. So I mean, you could start with the lower time frames, but if GJ is trading at a major area of supply, right, what happened for you to want to be looking to sell instead of buy? Or major area of demand, sorry.
It would have to break
Yeah,
and then retest.
yeah. And then we look to sell.
Okay, I see what you're saying now. Thank you.
Yeah,
You're all.
it's good.
What's the importance behind knowing the daily or the weekly closure candlestick? What tells you?
Volume and strength in the same direction along with the trend.
All right, thank you, man.
Yeah,
Yo, bro,
yeah.
how was timepiece trading?
Bro, it was dope. It
It
was
was
super
dope, eh? I told you, man.
Yeah, I know. They're amazing people. They're amazing people. They really helped me out a lot.
Good price on the Richard.
Yeah, bro, a really good price on the return.
Did you trade the one that you had?
Yeah, I did. I got
Yeah.
fucked on that one though.
Yeah, I told you, man.
Fucked.
Nice. I'm glad you got a better one.
Yeah, thank you, bro. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Wouldn't gold have a higher probability of it retesting 1834 or 1833 area?
Why you
Like
say
the
that?
because the previous daily rejected.
Although the previous daily rejected, the structure on the 4-hour time frame is still bearish. And notice if you look up on gold, this entire zone from what we talked about yesterday is an area of support and resistance, and price completely rejected this area twice. So as long as price maintains under that area, it still has a probability of going down. Now, once price actually breaks above, then that's when, okay, it's going to go back up into 1833. Same principles of support and resistance still apply. You can't forget about those principles.
So you're gonna look for sells for gold?
I am looking for sells on gold.
Yo, I got a little late. Did you go over GJ already?
Yeah, I'm basically not doing anything. I'm just kind of waiting.
For like a pullback?
I'm waiting to go long and for signals to go long, such as a double bottom, something along those lines. It's too early to look to buy GJ. I'm gonna look to buy it again.
Or double bottom, do you check like daily 4 hour?
I'll be looking on the 4-hour, the hour, because the daily has a big engulfing. So I'd like to see a rejection candlestick. So then the next daily candlestick could potentially be a bullish engulfing. Yeah. So any more questions? Any last questions? Or is everybody already good?
I'm good.
Everyone's good?
sorry. Is there any updates on the FMS?
Still same time frame, like 15 days left to go, I want to say.
15? Nice. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, just stay tuned to the leveled up Instagram.
Got it.
Yeah.
All right, but
So, but by any chance, did you guys get to see the last webinar?